On the street, Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it?
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost.
Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. Today, I want to talk to you about a video that's going viral about a Taraji P Henson interview. Taraji P Henson is a world-renowned actress. She's acted in movies such as the most recent movie, The Color Purple. She's acted in some great movies in terms of Baby Boy. She's acted in Empire and some other things as well. She is one of the most recognizable faces and names in Hollywood, especially as a Black actress. She's done some amazing things, and overall right now she's coming to the point right now where she is upset a bit about the pay that she's receiving and about how things are not stretching in the way that they are supposed to be. So with that, it was pretty interesting hearing overall the uproar that's been going on. A lot of people are, saying that this is racist, this is that. People are, relating to her overall in her place of employment. Some people are comparing it to their own situations. And go ahead and play the video here. We'll watch a little bit of this, come back and talk about it just after that.
I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathing. And when you start working a lot, you have a team. Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up, there's a whole entire team behind us. They have to get paid. So when you hear someone saying, oh, such and such made $10 million, no, that's not, that didn't make it to their account. Know that off the top, Uncle Sam is getting 50%.
That's right.
Okay? So do the math. Now we have 5 million. Your team is getting 30% or whatever your team is off of what you grossed.
Sometimes
not
more.
After what Uncle Sam took. Now do the math. So I'm only human, and it seems every time I do something and I break another glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again, like I never did what I just did, and I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm tired.
I get that.
It wears on you, Because what does that mean? What is that telling me?
What is it telling me? Yeah. And what does it tell me? Yeah.
And if I can't fight for them coming up behind me, sorry.
No, don't apologize. Don't apologize. I think it's an important message for people to hear, because we see the lights, camera, action.
And then they tell me we don't translate overseas.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing that my entire career, 20 plus years in the game, and I hear the same thing, and I see what you do for another production, and when it's time for us to go to bed, you don't have any money. They play in your face. And I'm just supposed to smile and grin and bear it and just keep, enough is enough. That's why I have other things. I have my TPH brand. I have my mental wellness. I have other things, because this industry, if you let it, it'll steal your soul.
All right, perfect. So there it is right there. There's two different aspects of which it is that she just said. I think I wanted to hit on each at its own place. The first thing she talks about, is not being paid equally and having a situation where they feel like they're not the same as other actresses that may be white, or in situations where people may not translate is the thought to the European markets. I think right now the biggest thing that I see is that Taraji is surrounded by people like Oprah, people like Tyler Perry. And I think more than anything else, I think what is needed in a situation like this is for her to emulate those particular individuals. With her name as large as Taraji P Henson's is, she is anywhere she walks into any store, any business, small business, and she may turn that business into the highest producing day just by her presence. So many people are going to show up for her, just to heck a picture with her. They're going to buy things from that particular store. And I think that that the idea of complaining that someone else won't pay you more is kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's we as Black people, right? We complain about racism and then expect the people that we consider racist to pay us as if we're equals. That, in my opinion, doesn't really make a ton of sense, right? But she did say that she has a few other things that she's considering moving on to. But again, like, you look at between her and you look at whether it's Oprah, whether it's Tyler Perry, whether it's Rihanna, people who have gone about and not just continued on as an employee, but created things that were big enough to sustain them, and then their acting just continued to be a funnel that brought them more and more business. I think right now, a lot of people are getting caught up in the emotion of the situation. They're looking for the chance to say that life isn't fair, and truthfully, life is not fair. There are people who were born kings. There are people who were born with losing both of their parents. Life in itself is not going to be fair to you. You're not going to always receive everything that you deserve, but you can go out, especially in America, and build something that is for you. If I'm hoping, and it sounds like from there that she's taking some of that advice, but it would be great for her to be able to sit down and speak with Oprah and say, you know what, this is where I'm at right now. And any person who understands that, if you are working at a job and you have two different jobs or whatever, you understand that a lot of times the math ain't mathing. That is not the way it's supposed to be. This country was built upon businesses. And when she talks about how when she receives her paycheck, it immediately gets cut off 50% due to Uncle Sam. There are probably people who are doing light production that end up taking home more money than Taraji P Henson. And a lot of that is due to the fact that it may just not be that the game that she's playing is not according to the game that is associated. The tax code, it benefits you if you are paid as a business entity. If you receive that money and you pass out those bills, those things can be removed as expenditures and deductions that you can remove from your company, and eventually possibly get paid back based upon how much money you're deducting. So when I hear that, first of all, for a conversation sounds like that of an employee, and which again, if you're an employee dealing with businesses, you're going to lose. We see right now between the strikes that are happening, we see all of these things. GM just laid off, either GM or Chrysler, I believe, just laid off about 1,500 people after the whole big strike. At the end of the day, businesses win in America. And for those of us who are looking to get ahead, to do better, it is about creating a business entity that can withstand and take away some of these deductions overall. The second thing she's talking about, and I see that she does get it. Taraji is a very smart woman. She's someone who is, she's very dedicated to her craft. She's been able to sustain her career for a long period of time. And she talked about how she has a TPH brand and a few other things that she's working on. Those who are coming up underneath you need you to focus even more on becoming that brand. Oprah Winfrey is able to regardless of your thoughts on Oprah, she's able to offer people opportunities. Tyler Perry is able to offer people opportunities because they have created their own economy. Tyler, for one point in his life, he attempted to become part of Hollywood, and he realized he didn't want to be that anymore, and he wanted to be someone who provided jobs and opportunities. So he created his own Tyler Perry Studios, and it's become as big in many situations as that of Hollywood. And it continues to expand, and he doesn't have to ask anybody for their permission. And what is it that they want to do? Whoever he wants to hire, he hires. He has his army of accountants and lawyers who are able to help to find him the best deals possible, and he's able to move from there. And for us who are coming up underneath us, we need to focus on that particular model and not as much on the employee model, fighting for the scraps that those who we consider to be, if you are of the mindset of everyone's racist, that the oppressor is not willing to give you, we need to go out and find our own lane. We need to be able to develop and to create situations for ourselves. This isn't just for Black people, this is for everyone. So if you're out there and you're complaining about your wages are not great enough, I have a word for us right now. If you are watching what's going on at the southern border, there is a serious stream right now. This year might end up being between 4 and 5 million people that cross up into the country. If this continues, that would mean an additional 50 million people will be in this country in the next 10 years. that is going to have a serious strain on resources, whether it's the cost of living, whether it's the cost of food, whether it's the cost of resources. Everything is getting ready to go up. And if you're sitting down expecting that the job that's paying you $20 an hour is going to pay you more, the likelihood is that in 3 to 5 years, that job will likely pay you less than what it is that you're making right now. We need to be finding skills that are elite. We need to be finding ways on how we can open businesses. You need to be open. We live in a digital world. Everyone is consuming something digitally. Everyone, in my opinion, should have their own digital business. Everyone should be building their YouTube brand. They should be building their brands online and creating digital products that they can sell. Right now, if you're an artist and after you've seen what is going on with Diddy, and you're still fighting hard to get an industry deal, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. If you get on YouTube and you produce, you can make a lot more money just by making your own videos and eventually, partnering with someone rather than signing a contract.
But there's always a few. Just like with the men, there's Morgan Freeman, there's Will Smith, there's Denzel Washington. They stand out above the crowd, but the vast majority of others, you heard Terrence Howard recently complaining about the kind of stuff that transpires in Hollywood. Taraji P Henson is another matter. She's another matter. Because she recently spoke as a guest being interviewed by Gayle King on Sirius XM. Taraji P Henson became very, very emotional when asked if there is any truth to reports that she is contemplating giving up acting altogether. Listen to what this woman had to say. Now, we could sit up there and go off and we could say, come on, but I don't want to hear that shit. We're talking about one of the great ones here that was reduced to tears because of a simple question that made her inflect and contemplate what kind of future was worth having if it was in the acting industry because of what she's experiencing. I could point out that Keke Palmer and Gabrielle Union both spoke out, proclaiming they agree totally with Taraji and that she ain't tell one single lie about the disparity of pay for black actresses. Okay? And I, for one, can tell you that because black actresses have been telling me that for years. The list goes on and on about the multitude of actresses who have spoken about the disparity in pay. What was Gabrielle Union paid when she was in Bad Boys 2 with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence? I know they were paid at least $20 million. I don't think she got one. I think that might be pushing it. She was damn near the star of the movie. Bad Boys 2 was a hell of a movie, and she was damn near the star. Her role was just as prominent as those two. And still, the disparity. Keke Palmer's qualified. She's been in this business since she was a child. She's qualified to make those statements. Vanessa Williams, both Vanessa Williams. Because there's two of them. Angela Bassett, who I just brought up, Viola Davis, Alfre Woodard. There's marvelous black actresses all over the place. With the skills, ability, and the draw, they certainly don't diminish the quality or compromise the draw of the films they participate in. The love, where is it? And why am I going off about this? Because you know what? Men need to speak up. Don't we talk about being leaders? Don't we talk about standing up and making sure that we highlight the plight of the desolate and the disenfranchised, those who are not in some of the privileged positions that we're in, even though we're not as black men? The challenges that a woman face, that a black woman face every single day. As somebody who was raised by 5 of them, I would know. I would know. And so when I hear the complaints and then I see the emotional reaction from a Taraji P Henson, her, I'm like, if you screwing her over, who are you not screwing over? I'm just looking at some of these credits here. Taraji's credits. New Color Purple coming out Christmas.
All right, guys. So we just heard there again Stephen A. go off overall on his tangent. So Stephen A. recently had a situation where he himself was complaining about the treatment he was receiving from ESPN, and he has decided to go off and build his own studio and to prepare himself for a possible leave from ESPN in the next coming 18 months. I think overall right now it's a time where digital access is available to everyone. In time past, in the early 80s and 90s and different things like that, maybe early 2000s, there were gatekeepers who were in charge of the communication between the talent and between the audience. I think with social media, much of that has been removed. And for those who are wise, they are connecting and they're finding ways on how they can create their own brand, create their own connections, and be able to harness that particular funnel to create millions and billions of dollars. And we see that again with Tyler Perry. We see that with Oprah. We see that with just numbers and numbers of people who are creating their own space. Many people are complaining that so many people are starting their podcast, but essentially what you're doing again is that you are creating a brand that those who are in the marketplace desire to follow. And once that brand is created, you can then offer them your services, and then they can decide whether or not they want to pay for it. There's no really need for a middleman anymore, unless you're partnering as a partner and not as much as an employee. But it's going to take some work. It's going to take some long nights where you're not getting paid. It's going to take some time where you're focusing on that. And Taraji, for the most part, she spent a lot of time, unfortunately. It seems like focusing on just being the best employee that she could become. It's like people who, they say A students work for C students. A students are focused so much on being perfect in school, and C students are spending their time learning and connecting with people. And eventually, many of them are able to go out and create something for themselves that they can help to employ and to deploy other people and their talents and use that to help to build their business. In this society that we're in right now, you're either going to create and fund your own dreams, or you're going to help to build someone else's. And we as a society need to decide which one that it is that we're going to do, whether we're going to be a part of that building, whether or not we're going to be subject to life as it comes to us and to be taking L's left and right from different people. If you're out there, you don't own any real estate, you don't own any businesses, you don't own any intellectual property. You're setting yourself up for failure. Once again, there's going to be a huge boom right now as these migrants are coming into the country, and many times they're going to camp out in these areas where we are overall with the lower end of the pay spectrums and things like that. Those who are in businesses, they're going to be able to run and create and to develop and have their access of talent and be able to expand from there. We need to decide whether or not which people we will decide to be in this new coming America, whether we will be the employee or whether we will be the employer. What are your thoughts on this? Please comment below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day.